Welcome to Rasta Racing 146 YouTube channel. Today we're going to be walking through step-by-step installation of a Rasta Racing link pipe. I've gotten many referrals on how to, so I decided why not make the video on how to do it. It's a very simple process. Anybody that can hold a spanner or a wrench, love that comment. Shout out to the UK boys. You can do this install. It's really simple. I'd like to start out by thanking English Cycles of London, Ontario for the triumphs that they supported me over the last decade. Sons of Kent Brewery, Impact Graphic Designs, Pro 6 Cycle, Scott Atkins at Acme Motorsports, Bickle Racing, Trackside Cuts, Bridgestone Racing Tires, Kennedy Motorsports, and of course SOAR, Southern Ontario Association of Racing. I'd like to thank all the guys on the www.765daytona.com forum that we're all a member of. I'd like to big shout out to Ghost Ninja. Thank you so much for posting the video. I have gotten a couple extra sales out of that. That helps big time with racing and the funds that go towards that. I'd like to thank Admark 9, Atari 765, 765 Rocks, Reroll, and Boolia, and so many more. Alright, so this is what we're going to expect when we order a Rasta Racing link pipe. We're going to receive a stainless steel pipe, custom made and custom fit for our Moto 2 765 2020. It's going to come with either a red or white sticker, depending if you have a red stripe or a matte. It's going to come with a couple pieces of tin, I'll explain that, and a bracket to retain this exhaust cover. The things you're going to need in order to do this, you're going to need a 12mm wrench, a 12mm socket, a 5mm Allen key, a 5mm bent Allen key, and a 10mm socket as well. So let's get started. I've already pre-done a few things. We're going to thank Rolly here. This is his bike. This is number 750. He got this on his birthday on 4/20 of this year. And I'd like to thank again Sons of Kent for their sponsorship. So I've already loosened up these bolts here. So you're going to start by loosening this one down here, just behind here. That's the 10mm. This is a 12mm. So you can work that. It's just going to come right off. Now, sometimes there's a gasket that ideally stays on the inside here. If it doesn't, it's going to be right here. So apply a little bit of WD-40 and gently remove it and slide it back inside. Simple. You're going to remove this big bolt, this Allen key. When you remove these two, there's another Allen key bolt behind here. You're going to remove that. You're going to flex this out a little bit, and you're going to just loosen that screw a bit so that the retaining here can lower, and there's one Allen key back here as well, and then this will just lower. There's one bolt on the other side and one here, and this one here for the sound detonator. It's very simple. There's only 8 bolts in total. 1, 2, 3 for that. You undo that one, and loosen the one underneath there, remove that one. Super simple, guys. Really simple. Okay, so this is where we're at, installing the Rasta Racing 146 link pipe. We removed our sound detonating box. We removed the gasket and installed it back into our stock aero can in case it didn't stay inside. This is the bracket, this is the clamp that comes off the front. This is why I include the little bit of tin foil to make up that little bit of gap that's inside if you reuse this. I suggest you get a clamp like the upper one, and this size is a 44 to 47, and that will fit perfectly right here. Okay, so here's the link pipe. I've used a little bit of foil around the outside because the clamp that I'm using here is a 51-55, so it was just a few mils too big at the very end, so I used a bit of the foil to make up the difference. Same idea when you're using this clamp, only this is the actual proper size clamp here. But I use this for my SC exhaust, so I'm just going to reuse this one. So here we go. I've used a piece of sandpaper that almost everybody has, and I've sanded the header here so that the link pipe will then rotate smoothly. So I'm now going to slide it on. Now I know the angle is roughly right about there. Okay, so now next I'm just going to tighten that down just a little bit so that when I start sliding this on, it doesn't move too much on me. There. That way I can still move it, but it's not too loose. Gaskets on the inside. Here's the original clamp. Make sure when you put it on right so that when you're working on it, you can come from the bottom. Okay, you won't want to put it on like this. That would be bad. Or like that would be too close to the exhaust. So it's on the outside like that. Okay, so the nut will be facing you on the bottom. So we're going to take this like this, and we're just going to slide it on. See? Nice and gentle. I'm going to rotate it up, and there's my line right there. See? I got it first shot. Okay, so now I'm going to take the bolt, the cap. All right. Got get that locked in. Get this up here. Good. Again, not a tight fit. So I'm going to make sure everything's lined up here. Good. So now I'm going to tighten this fella down here so I know I'm going to stay there. Okay, that's tight and snug. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my clamp up. I'm going to slide it up and over. I'm going to line it up. Take my 10 mil, come underneath it, and tighten it up. Before I make it too tight, I'm going to make sure everything's lined up nice and neat. There we go, all nice and neat. Okay, so that's tight. That's only finger tight, so let's tighten that down a little bit. Now that we got our lined up here, get that clicked over. Whoa. Okay. Okay, so now we've got that done. So this is a number 6 Allen key. I've installed my bracket. I've already pre-bent it. Again, all of these are handmade. Everybody's going to have to bend them just a little bit different. The one up front here slides back and forth, so you can adjust it to the depth and what length you need. Mine's somewhat pre-done already. I'm just going to raise it up, stick it in, and there we go. There. All right, everything's clear. You gotta tighten that down in there. I'm gonna use my little L bracket. Again, you can flex the carbon fiber out a bit. You don't have to remove the fairing, that's just excess work. All right, there we go. I'm gonna put this nut back in, which is the 5 mil. There. And that's it. That's done. I'm going to clean my stuff up. £10. The first thing you're going to notice is how much lighter the bike is and how much better it handles. Actually, that'll be the third thing you notice. The second thing will be when you start it. Everybody that knows me knows I usually run the SC exhaust when I'm racing or on the street, but today I switched over to the Aero because now we're going to fire it up. Let's go. Okay, so we finished the installation of our Rasta Racing 146 link pipe. We've overchecked our bolts and nuts. Everything's nice and snug and tight. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the bike through a heat cycle. That's running it at idle until the fan comes on. That's going to take about 10 minutes. That will allow the ECU to learn the new airflow. Do not blip the gas, the throttle, whatever you want to call it, don't blip it. Let it idle for at least 10 minutes. It's going to take for the fan to come on. Once the fan comes on, let it run for about 30 seconds, turn it off, wait a minute, suit up, come back over, fire the bike back up. Now I've already done this, so I don't have to do it again. I just explained to you guys how to do it. You've done it, you've turned the bike off, you've come back out, you've suited up, or you're gonna blip the throttle all you want. So here's what your bike's gonna sound like. Kick ass. Now my motor's cold right now. My motor's cold. Okay, so now I'm going to install the SC exhaust just so you guys get a sound bite on that. Okay, I've taken the time to reinstall the SC Project exhaust, which I just love and adore. I think the bike sounds amazing. It sounds more like a real Moto 2, which is why we all bought it, right guys? Okay, here we go. I love this pipe. You can clearly hear the difference. Thank you for everybody for watching, and for all those who support Rasta Racing 146, and for those of you that want to order a Rasta Racing link pipe, you can contact me at tri675r@live.com or on the forum www.765daytona.com under my thread I can't stop thinking about my 765. And thanks a lot. Again, a big shout out to all the guys on the forum and Ghost Ninja. Check out his site, subscribe to him. He's got some really good tips and some really good advice. Peace out, guys. Cheers.